There's something about the holidays. My dad gets really bummed out. The Tempesta family, we've had our bit of loss over the years, and just every Thanksgiving, every
Ooh,
Christmas, you kind of just like, ugh. Plus, then the food, everyone
yeah.
just starts eating the food and feeling bad about
Mhm.
all the food they're eating. And oh yeah, this year there's a pandemic, so everything's terrible, and we're all just kind of in this thought of like, ugh, how do we get out of the
Yeah.
ugh mode? Our next guest here to hopefully help us. I hope. I please.
Hey, listen, this is a
Yeah.
real thing and it's not easy. It's affecting a
Yeah.
lot of us. Dr. Jeff Morawski is here. He's the Chief Medical Officer at Silver Summit Health Plan. We're so happy to have him back on the show. See, Sean and I are already feeling a little seasonal depression, but seeing you, Dr. Morawski, is making us feel better. So welcome back.
The,
Well, thank you. It's great to be back.
the season's the whole year.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest,
Yeah.
it's not just something for people who, suffer from depression. I think it's hitting more people than ever. It's
Yeah.
real. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, so, stress around the holidays and you mentioned already the bad eating that goes with the stress. That's here for us all this year. There are always people who the holidays are really tough for. Folks who've lost a loved one at a prior holiday, or people that are missing the family that aren't able to be with you. All of that stuff is there. And we have people that really have serious depression issues that need help. But we're all facing it this year with the pandemic. And, we're going to have to think about ways that we can address those kind of feelings of sadness, but it's also anxiety.
Yeah.
Some people feel guilty.
Hmm.
Some people get angry. So all of those things, we're going to have to find some ways that we can all address them and then get people the help they need.
Oh, let's think of some healthy ways to cope. I mean, obviously, a lot of us put our lips to the gravy boat. Not a good idea.
Yeah, not a great idea.
Yeah, you're going straight to
Yeah,
the big
much as
bottle
I
of
love
wine.
it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
gravy's
no,
delicious.
Gravy is good.
it
How do you cope
is.
in a healthy
Yeah,
way?
yeah. I mean, I think the first thing I tell people is, just breathe. Recognize the fact that this is a really tough year and it's really stressful. So take a big breath. Acknowledge that it's an awful year. It's a pandemic.
Mhm.
What do you expect? So start there. Then it's things like taking a deep breath, trying to take multiple walks, connecting with people, even in a world of Zoom fatigue.
Yeah.
It's still important to connect with people.
Hmm.
Those things help. And then be mindful about the fact that you're going to cheat and eat lousy, and I'm going to put my lips to the gravy boat like everybody else does, and then I'm going to have to go for a longer walk. But we all have to just acknowledge the fact that it's going to happen. So pick those things that matter for you and do those, but do them in as moderate a way as you can.
Hmm.
Don't say none of this. No, you have some.
Yes.
That's the big important things.
Yeah.
That is a lot of wisdom, doctor. Thank you so much. I'm going to start right now. Sean, do it with me. I'm just going to go, oh, this whole year is terrible. Okay, I feel better.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and
I have to
I tell
admit,
people focus on next year.
Oh yeah. We
focus
did
on
that in
next year. Yeah, give
2019.
yourself
It didn't
something
work.
Yeah,
to look forward to.
She can attest. I hated 2019.
He did. Sean
2020
made
was
the
a
biggest deal.
doozy.
Like 20, he said on air, 2020 is going to be my year. Psych, not true.
well,
Yeah, it is really, really challenging. You had a few tips. I think that one thing that helps as well, doctor, is what we're doing right now is just acknowledging and connecting with other people. And you mentioned Zoom calls, even if it means just those Zoom calls, and just saying, hey, you know what? I feel terrible. Sometimes
yeah.
that makes you feel a little better.
No, no, you have to really say, hey, this feels awful. I mean, my Thanksgiving this year, my kids will be on a monitor. They're not going to be home.
Mhm.
They're away, and it's not safe for them to come home. So it'll be different. And I have to acknowledge the fact that I'm sad about that, and that's just the way it is. But I'll keep my eyes focused on hopefully next year they'll come home for Thanksgiving or at the holidays in general, and we'll make the best of what we can and try to kind of share those stories and find moments and, as you said, acknowledge and breathe together. We'll do okay.
How can you help someone, a friend or a loved one who might be struggling? And typically, you could give them a hug, you can hold their hand, you can tell them it's going to be okay. Right now, not necessarily the case.
Mm.
How do you do that?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it is really hard. You could try the virtual, it's going to be okay. And the virtual hug, they're all right. I think you have to try to separate people who are sad from people that are having serious mental health issues, people that, wish they weren't around anymore,
Yeah.
or potentially even expressing suicidality. Those folks, you want to really encourage them to, call 1-800-273-TALK, which is the National Suicide Hotline,
Mhm.
or to engage with their provider and get some real help. But for the other folks, it honestly, it's that, let's do something together. I find sharing things over video technology is something you can do, right? Have a meal on a Zoom call, do an activity, not just talk.
Yeah.
I think it's great advice. Thank you for sharing the number to the suicide hotline. Is it's especially important. I mean, really, truly, it's a reality this year. And for the rest of us, is there help also available to us at Silver Summit?
Oh, of course. SilverSummitHealthPlan.com has resources on it. You can go there and take a look. It's worth taking a peek. Also, resources in your community. Don't forget your clergy, your pastors, your friends, your family. Those are great resources as well.
Awesome. And really quickly before we go, just a reminder for everyone. Oh, we're in the middle of open enrollment again
Oh,
right now. Medicare
Yeah.
wrapping up December 7th. That's pretty soon. And then you have the Obamacare
Yep.
ACA plans.
Right.
Those need to be chosen by January 15th. So time is a ticket.
Yes. Add one more stressor to our holidays. Make sure you keep
Perfect.
those dates in mind.
Thrilled.
More decisions. Love decisions. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. You want to learn more about Silver Summit Health Plan? Go to their website, silversummithealthplan.com. Silver Summit Health Plan, a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.